Hello everyone and welcome back to Remedycraft. I do apologize for my lack of an episode this Sunday. I had a lot of trouble with the episode itself and getting it to render and being ready in time, and it due to some personal issues in life, I in anger just tossed everything away. That was absolutely ridiculous from my side. Anyway, because I lost all that footage now, I decided to go back to the zoo and work some more on the aquarium area. The purple outlines here, or magenta, are going to be aquariums. There's going to be one for tropical fish, squid, dolphins, and I think those will be axolotls. In the middle will be guardians. For the tropical fish I will be adding an extra room on this side and an extra room on that side, which will turn into the different zones. These magenta outlines are the different aquariums. The spruce wood on the floor here is just to create a ground level, and to talk a little bit about what happened overall, I'll be doing the sandy area below here while I explain left right what happened, because in my life currently a lot is going down the drain, or down the drain isn't even the right word. A lot of in my life has been crazy and hectic, and me and my autism really can't handle a lot of negativity in one go. So when stuff like that happens, I just lose my cool completely and end up doing something I will regret. Like in this case, I tossed an entire episode, even though it really wasn't necessary to do so. If I had thought things through, I would be far better off. But unfortunately, that is something I do and something I have to live with. This doesn't look all too good, but it's just a basic shaping for the sand. Oop. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's me being me basically, and in the end it cost me a very dear episode, as it was my first terraforming job on this server for someone else, and it did come out quite alright in my opinion. But then, like I said, a lot of stuff happened and I chucked it in the bin. I will try and refrain from letting that happen again, but no promises. Because I am still human and mistakes are made. I'll just pick up a lot more detailing and life and everything to make it up to you guys. Like I said, it bums me out that I did it, but and now I'm talking in circles. It's just the dumb thing I did, and nothing I can do could turn it back, and now all I can do is move forward and try and make it as best as I can from here on out, which is exactly what I'm planning to do. The whole reason I wanted to do this area first is because this is the centerpiece. The magenta will be replaced with prismarine blocks, and once I get the water in, it will also be transformed into a complete aquarium, and then I'll need to find a way to get some guardians in here, which is going to be a lot of fun. He said, being annoyed already about it, because those things kill you right quick. But yeah, that's the overall plan. And I really don't want to get into the details of what's happening, because that's honestly none of your concern just yet. And I just want to keep creating videos for all of you to enjoy. So, with that, the sand's in. This will be prismarine as well. and maybe even lights, because currently I have a surplus. Let's see if I can find them. Yeah, here they are. But first I'm going to turn this sand into sandstone and add a few extra layers, and I'll bring you back once those are in. Here we are again. I finished up the entire bottom floor design. There's no coral or anything present yet due to there being no water. This is because I want to design the other tanks first before I start working on that. This will be a decently sized wall of stone for the time being. As soon as the water comes in, I'll be adding coral. The reason why this is still wool is because I'm not too sure what I want to do here. I might add some custom coral designs, but for now let's focus on creating a decent sand design. And as I thought about me telling you about my autism, it seems to be the smarter option, or the better yet, the right option to explain a little bit about it. I have what's called MCDD, Multiple Complex Development Disorder, and the child-friendly, simple version of it is I am a grown adult with the mindset of a child from time to time, mostly in creativity and emotional range. So when something goes wrong, I generally stay really calm, but it does happen from time to time, as with the previous episode, where I just lose it, stop thinking properly, and just decide, you know what, screw it, and go on a destructive rampage is, I think, the best term, because in this case it was just a bunch of videos I took, whereas it could also be a PlayStation controller due to me losing regularly. And the biggest advantage I've got out of it, because there's always good and bad, and I prefer to think of the good things instead of the bad things. When I also have the creativity of a 6 to 12 year old. It tends to differ depending on how well my mind is working with me. And in that regard, I always have creative, large scale ideas, like this entire zoo. Actually, I wanted to call out just the aquarium, but it's also the entire zoo. Learning terraforming, writing, drawing, all kinds of different stuff. And to me, the best option will always be to be open and honest about it, not for any other reason than by me opening up, people tend to open up as well. So now that I've designed this part, let me redo that 3 more times for the other aquariums. Welcome back, everyone. I do apologize. I thought I was recording certain pieces of the work I was doing, and only to realize at the end that I did not. What I've done though is create this little section for the drowned, the decorating. It's pretty plain and basic, but again, seagrass and everything will be added on a later date. What I've also done is create the back walls in a sort of fade towards lighter blue, as if it's some sort of ocean flooring. There will be some lighting hidden left and right. And I've done that for all the areas that have a certain animal focused on. This one does not yet, because I'm not too sure what I want to put in here yet, as all the pens have been taken care of. Then there is the area on the floor here that I did, just adding some dark oak, just to, I don't know, give it a more darker feel. And I was talking a little bit about the whole autism thing, as to me, from the start to the finish, it's what makes us special. And I was like 20 when I figured out I had autism, and that is rather late. But I'm glad I did, because before that I figured I could be separated from my imagination and its detrimental effects. But then I ended up in therapy over a lot of different stuff, and autism was one of the things that jumped out as a thing that I had and have. And it took me a while, but now I'm just happy that I've got it, because it makes me me, and for everyone that has a mental disability, as they call it, I would call it abilities, but you know, to each their own. I'm just glad that I know what I have, so I know what to watch out for, but it made me a stronger human being and more proud of being who I am. So I wouldn't change it for the world. And then there was this one left. And I'm going to do the large scale size of the pens later on off camera, and after that's done I might take a small break again from the zoo project and start something else or work on something else. So I'll keep my so that I can keep myself interested in what I'm doing, and this is hurrying up quite nicely, but I think that if I'm returning to it in the next episode, I will be working on detailing everything. You know, add the walls and the life, some of the animals. I'm not too sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I will get there. Oh, right. In this area there will be a small statue of a whale or a dolphin. I'm not too sure yet. For the sake of this being the aquarium, I want it to look a tad more interesting. This will be turned into a market area, and those will be done at a different date, because I want to do the statue once everything else is done. And I will also be terraforming this piece so it looks more natural. And we're walking back in. I needed those. What I am, however, going to do now is add a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this makes. These make 7. Yeah, that works. I'm going to add some leaves and everything over here, but that's for later. 1, 2. Let's see, what else is there to do? For now, not all that crazy much, but actually I should have a bunch of stone here, so I could work on those as well. For now, these walls are of course very bland. 1, 2, 3. But once the water's in, I'm going to replace a lot of these blocks with corals so they stay hydrated, and we can all I can add a lot of color. So I'll be doing this now, and once these are all in, I think I'm going to call it quits on the episode, and I will be seeing all of you in the next one. Yeah, if you're watching this episode and you think you want to know more about my disability, my experiences and opinions, because that's what all of this is, personal experiences and personal opinions, because I will never classify myself as a professor in this field. I only have my own experiences to talk about. Hi guys. I do apologize. I'm adding this in post because as I was working on the episode, I realized that some things I said or didn't say rather. Let me check something real quick. You need to go there. You there. I well, like I said, it's all based in opinions and uh, my personal experiences in life. But what I mostly wanted to say is, if you end up getting the suggestion to go to therapy to look into if something is wrong with you, do it. Because I waited way too long to get the help that I needed, and it took the better part of 10 years to figure everything out in my head and what was wrong with it. I'm glad I eventually did it, but still, you want to, if you can do it sooner, or you can find a way to look into yourself. There's no shame or anything when it comes to therapy, because in the end, it's your life and your mind which needs to be controlled, or sorry, not controlled, that is the worst way to put it. Your mind is with you from start to finish, and if you don't take care of it, you will physically also start to suffer. And sometimes, just sometimes, you end up in a situation where you yourself are not strong enough alone to fix it. These people are there, and I don't know how that is in the rest of the world, but where I'm from, the help's out there, and if you need it, take it. There's no one, or at least not in my book, and if they do, those are the worst kinds of people. There is no one that's stopping you from working on yourself. And if people do, those are not friends and people you should worry about. You deserve the best in the world every day for the rest of your life. And sometimes that means taking a step back and looking deep in yourself with everything you're going through and saying, I can't do this on my own. So, please, if you need it, get the help you need. I had to do it at a very late state in my life, but I'm to this day still grateful that I did. Because if I didn't, I honestly wouldn't be sitting here. So, I'm to say what's going to happen over here real quick is I'm going to recreate the same aquarium things I have over there and add the roof on both sides. But when it comes to mental health, never skip on it, male or female or anything in between or around, because every last one of you deserves the best in this world. And I do apologize for the bad choices of words every now and then, most likely constantly. It's like I said before, it's my first time actually talking about mental health and the stuff around it online. Face to face, it's quite reasonably easy to do, even though I had a few bad experiences, but those are unfortunately part of the walks of life. And to that I say, I thank everyone that is listening to this and bears with me on this, because I most likely will be talking about this at a later date as well. Not because it's a impossible subject, more because I think not enough people talk about it. For, once again, all genders. So, I'm going to finish these areas, and in the next episode I will be showing you the end result, and most likely a lot of fish will already be added, and I hope to see you in the next one. and sorry for this ranty episode.